Good morning, guys. It's Morgan. I wanted to go ahead and start off this vlogging process. I'm new to this, so y'all keep with me. I'm just going to go ahead and start with, basics. My name's Morgan O'Hare. I'm 23. I live in Burnett, Texas. I have spina bifida. I was not diagnosed until I was 22 years old. I lost my first child to anencephaly. We don't know if the two are connected or not. We're still finding more answers on that. Really, the biggest thing I wanted to go ahead and try and use these platforms for is spina bifida awareness, getting that out there. I was not diagnosed until I was 22 because such a rare form of the disease had formed at the thoracic levels instead of the lumbar levels, and the doctor, while he suggested it would be spina bifida, he never diagnosed me. So I went my whole life treating my spinal tumor and spina bifida as just a tumor. I had my first detethering surgery at 7 weeks old. Had my first blood transfusion then. They said that they did not think that I was going to be able to walk at all. Sure enough, spina bifida patients, we always prove those doctors wrong. So I ended up walking. I had my second surgery at 16 years old. I had to learn how to walk again that time. The attending physician actually thought that I was faking my leg paralysis, and she told my mom as much. I ended up having to stay in the rehab center for about 3 months while I learned how to rehabilitate my legs to go upstairs, since we lived in an apartment complex at that time. After that, I went back to high school, finished my high school diploma, came back down to Texas. I had my first 2 children, and when I got pregnant with my youngest and my final, I went into preterm labor a few times. They had to give me steroids to develop his lungs. There was quite a few issues, so at that point we knew that my back was starting to act up more. It was starting to give me more trouble. I had fallen at work a few times, and it wasn't a great time. So I started recognizing the symptoms of the tethering again, kind of like an electrified feeling or a paralyzed feeling whenever you pull or twist the wrong way. So sure enough, we went ahead and I scheduled another doctor's appointment with a neurosurgeon here in Texas, my first neurosurgeon since I moved back from Florida. And he was actually the one to diagnose me with lipomyelonmeningocele, which is a rare form of spina bifida. It is under the occulta. It's between the mild and severe ranges, but there is so little knowledge out there that it's hard to diagnose and it's hard to treat. So we are developing with some preventive measures, like, of course, awareness with folic acid, eating healthy, trying not to conceive outside of a planned pregnancy, a few different items. But there are treatments available for babies in the womb. They actually can perform neonatal surgery for babies that were diagnosed with spina bifida at their 18-week surgery, or 18-week ultrasound, excuse me. And that's usually the anatomical exam. That's whenever they check to make sure the baby's body parts are all there, their head, their kidneys are all functioning properly, so on and so forth. So when we found out my daughter Leah, she actually had anencephaly, which is almost along the same lines as spina bifida. It can be caused by a lack of folic acid, but it's also inclusive to see if there's other causes out there. It's not really very common. You might have heard of microanencephaly. Typically it's where the baby's brain has closed over, but either the bones or the brain itself hasn't developed completely. So there's quite a few different neural tube defects. Some they believe are linked, others they're not so sure of. My specific spina bifida case might actually be caused by chemical exposure. We just found this out this last weekend. So we're going to be going further in depth with that. We have been looking into some vision and attitude changes that I've been suffering from recently. We went ahead and removed some of my medications to see if those were causing the mood swings. But while the mood swings improved, my vision was still really bad. So my next step is to get a brain MRI to see if, there's hydrocephalus, which is very common with spina bifida, or a brain tumor, which is their main concern right now, because I have 3 existing tumors. I have the lipoma on my spinal cord. I have the lytic lesion in the lower spines of my lumbar. And I have the hemangioma on the outside skin of my back, above the tumor. So, dealing with these things all the time, I'm going to have people say, you've got a great attitude. And, the thing is, guys, you've got to have a great attitude. You can't let all this stuff that stresses you out, that makes you worried and concerned, and that keeps you from doing the same things other people are doing. Because I see moms out there that can pick up their kids on their shoulders and can carry their babies around, and I can barely pick my babies up. So don't let these things that hold you back or make you different from someone else make you think of yourself any less. Because I lived a pretty normal life for the most part, and I got treated differently because, when you have a big tumor or a big scar down your back and, you tell people you have a tumor, they kind of look at you sideways, but, oh well, But really, guys, this is probably going to be it for today. If y'all have any questions, just drop them below. If I have something that you need to clarify, go ahead and drop that. Send me a message if you need to. I have a little bit of delay getting this to here, so sometimes it doesn't come out right, and I'm sorry. But let me know if you have any questions, guys. Y'all have a good day.